Well, you know, gardeners are always looking for that wonderful and unique plant. Now, for instance, this is a standard fuchsia, and as we all recognize, it's got these beautiful, long, dripping flowers, and it's great for a shady location. But what I have over here is another fuchsia that I think is wonderfully unique. Now, it's grown actually just for the foliage. Now, this one is called Fuchsia Autumnale, and what's sort of unique about it is not only does it have these wonderful leaves, but the leaves actually change color like it's autumn. Starts off with this sort of reddish color, then they go into the green color, which gives you this sort of cascading effect. Now, this is one of those fuchsias, either people love it or they hate it. When I talked to a few people around the garden center, they said, "Oh, I must have one." Other people said, "You know, I think I'll stick with the standard fuchsias." Now, this one also does have a flower. It's really not known for the flower. And matter of fact, this is the only flower on the entire plant, but it is a very nice flower. This is obviously something that's going to need some winter protection, and so you're going to treat it just like a normal fuchsia. I would cut this one back a little bit harder than you would a normal fuchsia, only because you love these long, dripping branches to come out in the spring. Now, another unique plant I have here, why this one is unique is this one is called the star jasmine. And with a lot of vines like clematis or honeysuckle or wisteria, they often have just a standard blooming time. So they're going to look wonderful for a very short period of time, but you're really not going to get anything after maybe 3-4 weeks. Now, with the star jasmine, it's unique because it flowers on new growth. So as the new growth comes out, you're going to get these wonderful little white flowers on them, and boy, they're incredibly fragrant. Now, if you're lucky enough to live on the south coast of Vancouver Island or in the lower mainland of BC, you can probably grow these outside in sort of an unprotected area. If you're anywhere else in Canada, you're going to need to put it in some protection, and you can treat them similar to a fuchsia. The big difference between this one and a fuchsia is it's an evergreen. So you're going to have to put it in a very well lit area, and try not to let the temperature go down below 7 or 8 degrees Celsius. Now, with this one, it needs a fair amount of fertilizer, and you want to give it a fair amount of nitrogen fertilizer, again, because it's going to flower on those lovely new growths, and it's going to come out. And you could do something like this where you put it on a little sort of arbor, and in this case we've added a little moss and a little lobelia at the bottom, and you've really got a nice little accent. This is great at the front of your home, so when visitors come in to see you, they're going to get that wonderful jasmine scent. Also, you can put it on your patio and really impress all your people that come over for a nice barbecue. Now, over here I have something that's really cool. This is a rhododendron. This one's called Rhododendron daphnoides. And why I like this is because, for one, is unless it's in flower, you almost can't tell that it's an actual rhodo. It's got these wonderful curved leaves. So when it's not in flower, you might even think it was a daphne or something else. It's very dark green leaves and makes a great accent against some lighter colors or maybe some golden foliage. The very unique thing about this plant is it's not only sun tolerant, and I mean very sun tolerant, you can put it out in baking hot sun, it's also drought tolerant. So if you've got an area that is not sort of traditional rhododendron-like conditions, which is moderately moist, they generally need lots of oxygen at the roots, but keeping them moist, and part shade. If you've got something that is dry, full sun, but you still want the qualities of rhododendron, this is a great one, and this one's called Rhododendron daphnoides. Well, one last thing about this rhodo is it's very cold hardy. Matter of fact, it can handle temperatures down to -15 degrees Fahrenheit, which works out to -26 degrees Celsius. Well, I hope you've enjoyed this new spin on some very common varieties.